Hello, my makeup loving friends. How's it going? Welcome back. It has been a while since you have seen our faces, but we're here. We're still alive. Woohoo! You know the drill. I have the fabulous Tia with me, and I was going to film last week, but I unfortunately was sick. So was Tia. But the lovely Wilma Fingerdew was ready to step in, but I had to bail on her last minute. So thank you very much, Wilma, for being the MVP. Very much appreciated. But there's been lots of stuff that's kind of been happening since we took our little hiatus. A big thing, obviously, being Adam Minto of Revolution, the CEO, stepping down amidst all of this audit stuff. The plot thickens like an interesting gravy. We also had Jefferson Starship rather inexplicably saying that he's coming out with his own store in Yellowstone that is obviously going to sell makeup, their hoodies, skincare, and as you would expect, yak meat. Because
that's so weird.
I'm gonna go pick up a eyeshadow palette and also some meat. Who was on that specific shopping trip? Very, very confusing. But I couldn't find out that information because I've been blocked from Jefferson's Instagram. So that is still my greatest achievement of this year. Irrespective of writing a book and getting married, getting blocked by Jefferson. That's the peak of this year. Just today then, Lethal Cosmetics were added onto Beauty Bay. So my, what a time we've had.
That's amazing.
It is quite
amazing.
That. Yeah. But big thank you to you guys for continuing to tag me in things, even though we were on a little bit of a break. So I have lots of people to thank you. Sharp intake of breath. Big thank you to Brianna, Ali, Beth, Gillian, Miss Charlie, Trendstopia, Makeup Release Radar, Natalia, Yvonne, Chrissy, Buttons, Megs, Shalina, Claire, Sue, Gina, Shahina, JW, Yasmin, Rhea, Gaia, Tony Hum, Perm, Ilya, Kaya, Pydonia, Unbreakable Solomon, Eve, Manuela O, Kelly, Wilma Fingerdew, Tia, Sharon, Lilith, Katie, Claire, Bojana, Tina, Inez, Nicole, Charlotte, Franca, and Manuela T. A massive thank you to you guys who have been keeping that torch burning while we were off doing our own thing. And a big thank you to my Patreons. You know the drill, you're rather wonderful. And we have quite a few birthdays at the moment, actually. So a big happy birthday to Kaylee, to Jennifer, and to Sophie. Your birthday.
Happy birthday.
If your birthday cards don't get to you in time, I apologise. I'm just disgustingly disorganized. Our theme this week is cold as ice. As usual, I haven't done the theme because I've pretty much come straight from work. But I will say the boiler at work has not been working for the last 3 months. So I have been sitting in a cold
So you are
for 8
physically
hours.
cold.
As ice. Yeah. My nose is constantly cold, and I know that's the sign of a healthy dog, but I don't think that's a sign of a healthy human woman. So that's my contribution to the theme. But of course, Tia is fucking on point.
I did blue makeup. I haven't done makeup in such a long time because I got sick. I've been sick. Well, I did Saturday, but I'm not counting it because it wasn't that great. But I've been sick, so I haven't been doing anything. And I have so much new makeup that I want to play with. But I can't. I'm getting better though. So I'm hoping on Friday I could go back to work.
Yeah, I'm the same. I have the new Danessa Merrick's palette. So, the light work for just sitting over there. So that needs to be.
I'm very jealous. Very jealous.
It's all in an attempt to lure you over.
Yeah. I need to come back to Ireland.
It's been said. Anyways, there was a theme, cold as ice, and a few of my patrons have done it as well. But oh my God, we have 3 weeks worth of your stuff to kind of get into. And my God, when I tell you it is a mixed bag, it's a mixed bag. Beauty Bay, of course, have essentially a monthly release at this point. It's very hard to keep up with them. But they came out with their Beauty Bay neutrals. There was a 42 pan, a 16 pan, and a 9 pan, and they were £24, £12, and £7.50 respectively. Pretty nice because they were cool toned and neutral.
I saw this. Missa got this as PR, I think. She's back on Beauty Bay's PR list.
As she should be.
So this looks nice, but I will say, if it was just the last 3 rows, I would maybe like be more interested. But then the 12 pan, or is it, is it 9 pan or 12 pan, the smaller one,
The 16.
then that doesn't really have all those shades. So it has, so I'm kind of like, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, but I don't think I need it.
Oh, well, I'm an idiot because I bought it. So I was like, I'm a
Kinda-
married woman. I can do things
It
now.
kind of has like a Blend Bunny dollhouse vibes.
Yeah.
But not quite like the same though.
I can see that, like a more toned down version almost.
Yeah.
Of the dollhouse, and obviously much more accessible for a lot of people.
Yeah. And much more cheaper to get. So I quite like that there's options.
Yeah. And I know they're doing like bundles of this with other palettes as well. So like you could get a few of these at the moment in Beauty Bay, like a big bundle of the £42 or whatever, and separate them out for Christmas gifts.
Yeah, they're really cheap at the moment. And I kinda was looking. I think did they have this big one and then the berries big one in a bundle that was like even discounted. And I was like, oh, luckily I'm poor at the moment, just spending all my pennies in Scotland, so I can be like, oh, this is a good reason for me not to buy anything because I can't afford it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't afford these things either because like I have like $3,000 worth of like car repairs, but like I'm still an idiot that's like, I have no executive functioning and I have very poor behavioral inhibition. Off I go. So don't do what I do, lads. Don't listen to me. Don't do the things that I do. I did think this was like really quite nice in terms of a cool tone palette. You know their quality is good. Like nobody's questioning that at this point. Like
their quality is excellent.
The bastards. In terms of what you guys bought, the 42 pan palette, 41% of you loved it. For the 16 pan palette, it was a 50-50 split. And then for the 9 pan, it was a 35% love it. And I'm afraid, lads, this is the point where we descend into chaos. Because we can only say that HipDot have lost their minds. Now, the last episode that we had, we talked about HipDot doing the Care Bears in these icon things, and I am so sorry, but since then they've come out with 3 separate releases, and we're going to talk about them one at a time. The very first thing that came out was this Hello Kitty monstrosity. They were $12 each, or you could get the trio for $30, and I don't think there's anything positive to say.
Even the swatches look so bad.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we like that kind of a satin, like, well, I'm not going to talk for everyone, but for me, when I want shimmer, I want it to be like either like a really beautiful color and like a traditional shimmer, or like really pretty like glittery duochrome, all of these that we're getting from so many brands now. So this is just kind of boring. And not even kind, that it is boring.
Like this is like a poor man's ColourPop Super Shock Shadow. Like
and where's even the pink that they chose for like, okay, Hello Kitty, but that's even like it's not good.
But
who's buying these?
I honestly have no idea. Like the only thing that I can think of is that they're going to be collectibles because you couldn't really use them. They get to a point where they have to be functional. How could you hold them to you? There isn't a component to really keep them in. And like obviously they're head first. You're going to end up with a decapitated Hello Kitty.
Yeah. Or like if you use it on like for the others, that you always end up like a little bit like not quite right Hello Kitty. And then I feel like if you're gonna buy this, you're the one who's gonna buy these as decoration, that you love for some reason you love these things. I don't know, even for decoration they don't look that cute to me. No, but maybe they're like a collector's item.
But just get an actual Hello Kitty thing. Don't get makeup. Just get a cute little plushie or something. This is absolutely not. And 30 for the 3. ridiculous. When I put this set to you, 8% of you said love it, 34% said not for me, and 58% of you said, sweet Jesus, what is happening? And the confusion only continued because HipDot went, we'll do this icon nonsense again, but this time with SpongeBob SquarePants. And all I can say is that this stuff does belong at the bottom of the ocean. Honestly, it's nonsense. And the shades make no sense. They've done the same thing again where they've said they're $12 each, or you can get the trio for $30. I don't understand the colors of these.
Where's the yellow?
Exactly.
Where's the like
blue? The orange? Like,
yeah, like you could even do a blue one with the like eyes, but you chose these.
But why
Are
not
you
a
okay?
red for like Mr. Krabs?
Yeah.
I don't really know much about SpongeBob.
These just look terrifying to me. Like, who even wants to put something like that on a shelf and be like, oh, look at this, it's gorgeous. Because it's not gorgeous.
Its eyes follow you across the room. Like, no, that's not what I want in my makeup. Thanks.
I do not like these. Like, I don't understand what they're thinking.
I feel, right, it wasn't that long ago. Was it about maybe 2.5 months ago? We were talking about HipDot and they did this really cool collaboration.
Yeah, I remember.
It was like a D&D thing or something. And that was legitimately very, very cool. And we were like, yeah, HipDot, this is so cool. But I'm like, it feels like this is now what HipDot are saying is their identity, because for ages we haven't known what HipDot are beyond their collabs. And now they're just like, we've come up with icons, which is a fucking stupid name. There's nothing iconic about it. Like, this is just utter garbage, I believe is the technical term for it. I mean, to be fair, a lot of like rubbish does end up in the sea, so maybe that's what they were thinking of.
This is very gimmicky. Like, these are not for, you're not gonna go and be like, oh, look at that beautiful shade, I'm gonna use it all the time on my eyes. No. If I want that shade, I'll just go buy a single one or a liquid shadow that looks 1,000 times better than those on your eyes. Like, imagine like trying to rub that on your eye with those like edges, and it feels like, because it's hard.
You have to get precision though. You know how some people might have a very sculpted look, but even for some people to hold something that's like that, you're going to be getting it crumbling all over the place.
Yeah.
Depending upon, and like, this is not going to be great for people who have like physical disabilities like cerebral palsy or whatever, because they're not going to be able to pick it up. If you like long nails, acrylics, etc., you're probably going to fumble a little bit with this and be like, oh no, and have nail indentations all over the place. I fucking hate this. It's dreadful.
And I don't know how well like brush would work.
No, couldn't. You'd obviously have to apply it to the face first and then blend it.
Because I'm thinking, because it's like a solid thing, even if you could get some on your brush, I feel like it wasn't like, you couldn't get enough. I don't know, but I just know that this is the stupidest thing I've seen in a while.
Oh, honestly.
Like, this goes in the category with the Fenty ketchup thing.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah.
We've seen some fucking nonsense this year.
Like, this year has been so, like, some of these releases, I'm like, really, like, are you okay? Is everything okay in home?
To be fair, some of us didn't come out of lockdown in the best of shape. That's the case for a lot of these makeup companies. This is absolutely dreadful. I'm going to put it to you guys, 8% of you loved it, 36% said not for me, and 56% of you agreed with me and said it belongs at the bottom of the sea.
Who's the 8% who said I love it? Because I'm judging you. Like, this time I'm actually judging you. Like, come on.
But do you know what? They wouldn't fucking stop at that. And this is the third one in 3 weeks.
I saw this last night and I tagged Teresa. I was like,
when I tell you the absolute rage that filled my body when she attacked me in this, I was like, because I was already like putting together the PDF for this, and I was like, oh, we have 2 fucking HipDot things to talk about, and they're both stupid. And then in comes Tia kind of going, hey, 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 here's another thing. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. This time they've decided to destroy Sesame Street because apparently that's a thing. But they've decided, hey, 3 isn't enough. We'll do 4 instead. So they have the Cookie Monster, they have Elmo, they have Big Bird, and they have Oscar the Grouch. They're $12 each or $38 for the bundle.
Look how chalky that yellow looks on the fingers. Watch, it doesn't look even. Looks like chalky. It looks like there's no shine in these. The color choices are just together giving me the ick. Ugh.
You know what it
I don't
reminds
like.
me of? The colours. It reminds me of the Glam did a playground collection a couple of months ago, and the swatches from that looked very not great, and it is very reminiscent of this. Like this looks cheap. It looks like
Yeah.
$2 makeup type thing, and I
It
just
looks like children's makeup that they can like play with. Like
genuinely,
this would be like in Claire's. Buy this thing for your children. They can play with it and apply a bit of pigment on their eyes. Like this kind of thing looks like it's for children. Come on,
it's
please.
terrible. It genuinely, like it is trash. It's so bad, which makes me kind of think like it is quite funny that they have Oscar the Grouch who lives in a trash can, and that's where all of this should quite frankly go. Poor Oscar shouldn't have to share his home with this sort of nonsense. I will say the one okay thing, and I'm being very, very generous in saying this, is at least the colours of this collection make a
Yeah,
smidgen more sense.
yeah,
And
I
that's
do agree
all I
with
can
that.
say. That's
But they
literally
did a
all.
good job with the shades to look like beautiful. Like some of those almost look like matte. And they're supposed to be like shimmers.
Yeah,
So I'm like, okay,
I don't understand it.
we do not like these at all. I'm over it.
Same. And it seems that a lot of you guys are feeling the same way because the stats for this one reduced as well. Because when I put it to you guys, 5% loved it, 57% said not for me, and 38% said stop ruining my childhood, which I agree with massively. Then this one I thought was really quite odd. This is Barnes Cosmetics, and this is part of essentially their holiday season collection, and it's the Voyager collection. It's meant to be limited edition, and all 5 of them come together. You can't buy them separately, and it's $225. That's right. So it's averaging is $45 per palette. And when I say the caucasity of this is only made for people of a certain skin tone. There's no depth. When we look at, the palette for Italy, what the fuck does that say about Italy? That's not what Italy is like. There's a lot more vibrancy in there. When you look at like Dubai, when you look at London, has he been to these places? Like Australia, there should be like reds and
Even like
oranges.
even like Dubai and Paris, the blush and like is the highlighter or 2 blushes. It looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
So if you're only gonna be able, and then 2 of the blushes on a couple of those look the same, not the both of them. But if you only are able to buy these in one bundle, where's the variety in those blush shades? Like it's just, if this was like a release, you could buy whatever palette you want. Wouldn't be so harsh. But you're just buying dupes.
Yeah.
In one like collection. That's just.
But to come from a makeup artist,
Yeah.
from anybody else, if it was just people who were like, oh, I'm a makeup enthusiast, I'd be like, you know what? Fair enough. You maybe don't understand the depth, the range that you need for these things. But this is from an MUA.
Yeah.
You should know better.
Yeah. I would say like Paris and Dubai are like the most decent ones out of these. And then Australia, Italy, and London are just meh.
Yeah.
Even like with Italy, like okay, you wanted to go like a grey.
Why is that not London?
Yeah, and also like why is there then like gold shimmers in there? Like there's not even like a matte black because that one looks like a shimmery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no like if you look at each of the palettes, they're constructed in such a weird way that you don't have shades to deepen a lot. The darkest shades in some are the shimmers. This is like cheap makeup sort of stuff. That's what I'd expect for like an €8 palette.
Yeah. Or like you would expect this from like, let's say, Makeup Revolution
Yeah,
or like
Essence or Catrice or
Essence
something.
or Catrice or any of these brands, and I wouldn't be even mad
Hmm,
because they would be smart enough to sell these separately.
yeah,
Like I don't understand why do you need all of them,
you don't.
because there's like if they were all different, like there wasn't any dupes in blushes or shadows, then it would kinda make sense. But there is. So I'm like, why do I need to buy what? Like sell them separately.
100.
Try even save some of your, I don't even know what to call this.
It's trash. It's so bad. And I mean, it doesn't look like there's any sort of interesting formulas in there. Like what? Are we just getting
Yeah.
bog standard mattes and shimmers?
Yeah.
Elevate your game, Scott. Elevate your game because there are indie brands coming for you and they know what they're doing and they do better color stories. They do more interesting formulas.
Yeah.
We're living back in 2010. This would have been fine then. I'm sure it would have set people's worlds alight then, but my God, we have fucking options now. And
Yeah.
even if I had like the wealth of Elon Musk, which is
Yeah, I wouldn't go for this.
no, this is trash. Utter trash. I hate it. And when I put it to you guys, 2% of you loved it. Yeah. 86% said not for me. And 12% said I liked some of it. So I feel like this is one of
Yeah.
the most harshly judged things we've seen in a while.
Yeah. I think Scott should go back home, do his homework a bit better, like mix some things up, and then come back because this ain't it.
Oh, agreed. This next one, I normally love Natasha Denona. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a little bit of a Natasha Denona hoe. I have most of her stuff at this point, not everything, but quite a few things. So I do have a tendency to like really gravitate towards her stuff. But this is her new one, and it's the retro Glam palette, and it is €86. And I gotta say, I am super confused by this. Same notes that we gave to Scott Barnes, frankly. Where are the deeper shades in terms of the mattes? Because all the deep shades are shimmers here. They look very
Yeah.
ashy.
That I hate when brands do that, when all the deep shades are shimmers. Also, like, aren't there some of those matte, like green shades, quite similar? You can
Yeah,
only see a bit of a difference on a lightest skin tone.
yeah.
You can see like those third one from top and then fifth one from top. You can see a bit of a difference on like a light and medium, but then when you go to deep, they look almost exactly the same.
Yeah, there is
And
no
then you even have
variation.
that fourth one from the bottom, which is
Yeah,
also very similar.
absolutely.
And I'm struggling to find out what shades are they in the palette, because on the swatches they look matte, but then on the here, all the deep greens look shimmer. I'm so
Yeah, I've
confused.
no idea as to how they've swatched this because they definitely haven't swatched it like row
Yeah.
by row or column by column. Because even the pinks that they've swatched are
Yeah.
not next to each other. So I think they've grouped it together. And I
Yeah.
do know that obviously with Natasha's formula or with
Why
Natasha's
does it look?
palette, you can pick them and rearrange them. But
Yeah. It looks so much deeper than the swatches that it does in the palette, because the palette one looks very pastel-y.
mm,
Like all those sage, the pink, the fringe color, Lucy, Belle, Faye, they all look pastels. But then when you look at the swatches, they don't look like it doesn't. It looks like there's a couple of pastels. Where's the rest?
it,
This is very confusing. Like I
I
feel like this is a good idea of a palette. Like I like the color theme, but I would like more depth, more mattes.
agreed. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all very like all along the one line in terms of color. Like there's no super light and no very dark.
Yeah.
Like all along the same sort of color spectrum, which I find
Yeah.
really confusing. It kind of somewhat reminds me of the Give Me Vintage Rose palette, which is green and pink toned,
Yeah.
but more pastel in shades. I don't love this. And like I said, I like Natasha Denona a lot. Could I ever justify spending €86 on this? Not a fucking hope in
Yeah, no.
hell.
It's a
No.
no for me.
Yeah,
Why is
absolutely.
she doing so much pastels though? Didn't she like a
She
while back
not that long
release
ago.
like a full pastel palette? So
Around June. Yeah.
yeah,
It's very, very strange.
yeah,
It's not for me. When I put it to you guys, 18% of you loved it, 62% said not for me, and 20% said I like some of it. But part of what I found really interesting about the Natasha Denona of it all was that Sydney Grace Cosmetics came out with essentially dupe of this Glam retro palette a day or two later, where you could get the whole bundle, but it looks much more pigmented. Like you can get more depth out of that.
yeah,
For $60, you could get them individually for $3.50. Now, part of what is really interesting about this is it's essentially in memory of Mel Thompson, who passed away a little over a year ago, and the collection was called In Mel's Memory, and apparently a percentage of the proceeds went to Mel's family, and obviously her husband provided permission to launch. Now, I will say, even without the Mel Thompson of it all, because obviously that will colour people's judgments on these things,
yeah,
I think this looks much, much better than the Natasha.
yeah. You
Easily.
have more depth. You don't have insanely amount of depth in these either, but you do have like deeper colors, multiple deeper colors. And it's just I feel like it's more balanced out. It's not for me.
Yeah.
At least I know I wouldn't use like I like some of the colors, but I know I just wouldn't use it. I would rather just go with all the greens if you could
Mm.
buy just all the greens from
And
that.
you can get them as singles for $3.50.
Oh, that's nice.
So I think that was done
That's really
really
nice.
well. Like, I think this looks really, really nice. And actually, Casey Bell Beauty on Instagram did a side by side of swatches. Over on the left hand side is the swatches of the Natasha Denona, and on the right hand side is the Sydney Grace. I mean, I don't think I have to say much if you're looking at the picture right
Yeah.
now, because
Natasha Denona is not looking that good.
and I mean, $60 versus what would be
Yeah.
€86. I mean,
I
it's
would
fine.
definitely go for this
Yeah,
more indie brand route with this one then.
yeah. And I do like that it's Sydney Grace that are doing this for Mel Thompson, because obviously they did a collab with her before, and that was like a massive success for them, and she really supported the brand. So it is nice to see that, you know, they're still thinking of her, and that there's still like reverberations from the impact that she had on the beauty community. So I think
Yeah.
that's a really nice sort of a tribute, and I'm here for it. Honestly, I think it's
Yeah.
a nice idea. It's not for me; those aren't really my kind of colors. But I think this is like, if you were looking at the Natasha Denona and we're like, oh, I like that,
Yeah.
I would suggest go for the Sydney Grace instead. Just saying. Just it looks better. Okay.
Yeah, it does.
It really does. When I put this one to you guys, 23% of you loved it, 14% said not for me, and 63% of you said that you loved that the proceeds go to Mel's family, which I agree. We knew this one was coming for a while. We knew that BPerfect were doing their 5th collaboration with Stacy Marie. We had a little bit of like a red herring a month or two ago where they were doing the XL Pro remastered and the All Stars, and we were like, is this it? Is this the 5th launch? And she was like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Something else, I promise. And this is what we were waiting for. It's the Carnival 5 Interstellar. You could get the palette for £41.95. The brushes are £130. They're worth £280. Or you could get the whole collection for £160. Now, I obviously got the palette. There's a video up on my channel. If you're interested, I'll link it down below. It is a beautiful palette.
I want it. But I've been informed that I may not allow to be buy some makeup while because I'm using quite a bit of the money. But I will buy it at some point. I don't know when. It is currently, I think, on sale. I think was it like £33 maybe on sale at the moment? And then I think they also had the brushes separately on sale, and it was like, I can't remember how much. But then what confused me is they're selling the full collection for £160. And then there's like worth 320 something pounds. And I'm like, what?
Where are
And
we getting these numbers from?
brushes, 130, the palette, 41.95, and I was like, this it's not matching.
Yeah,
But
see what they're saying is that they're selling the brushes for £130, but they're worth £280.
but why doesn't it then like say like at least then say it on the brushes too? Because I couldn't when I was like looking at the brushes separately, you can buy all the brushes. There was only the like 130 and
I
then the
know.
sale price.
This is why I
And
had
then
to
on the
write it down in the
bundle.
PDF. This is
Yeah.
why
So
I had
I'm
to
like,
include it in the PDF because I was like, this is very confusing.
yeah, and they're not selling the brushes separately, and I don't think they even will. I was watching Mrs. video, and she said that she talked to Stacy on the event she went, and she's not planning on selling the brushes separately at all. Maybe in like eye bundle and like face bundle, but not separately.
I think that's a
I think
massive
it's kind
mistake.
of stupid.
I agree because I I don't know about you, but for me there are favorite brushes that I have, and
Yeah,
I will buy it several times over. Like I have the Wave 238, and I have 4 or 5 of those. I have the Morphe M562. I have 4 of those. I have the blank canvas E10. I have
yeah.
3 of those. Like if I like the brush, I will buy it
Yeah,
several times
so
over.
you buy more then. So I would like I think it would be smarter for them to sell them separately and maybe in like in bundles too. So you have like a big bundle, then just the eye brushes, just the face brushes, because that is a lot of money. Like £130 is so much. Like I know you get a lot, and what I've heard, these brushes are like incredible
Mm.
quality. They're like
I don't
they're
doubt that.
supposed to like mimic natural hair brushes without being natural hair. So that's like it sounds very interesting, but I'm not gonna get the brushes. Like I don't have £130. Just
Like I don't doubt for a minute that the quality is there. Like I know it's going to be there. Stacey Marie has done her homework. She knows what she's
yeah,
doing. That's not the question. Like I don't think anyone's questioning that. It,
yeah,
it's like you said, it's the price, and it's
yeah,
you have to pay the whole thing. And there's no other options of
yeah.
building your own set. Like if there was a build your own set option, that would
That
be
would be
amazing.
nice. Also, like pick maybe five or something. And also, which was kind of funny on the side, this is, by the way, no hate to Stacey
Oh
Marie
yeah,
at all, or like anything involving her. I just feel like this was kind of funny on BPerfect side. So there's a sale going on. They have the Black Friday sale. So at the moment, the palette is like, I think it was like 30 something pounds. And then the brushes were also on sale. But then the full collection was not. So when you put it together, the brushes and the palette separately at the moment is like I think like 18 or 17 something pounds or euros cheaper than if you would buy the full like bundle deal that they have. So I'm like it's just like little things.
yeah.
I know probably Stacy can't like she's not the one who's doing the
Oh
citing doing the prices and anything of that. So it's not anything on her, but I just feel like there's some little things that I'm kind of like disappointed in. Also, like they none of the like affiliate codes were not working on when these dropped on the site.
I know. I got one that worked for me.
Oh, that's weird because they said that none of them are working. So,
That worked for me. I used 20 miss and it worked and
oh,
took money off.
because that's weird because Missa said her code was not working.
Yeah, it wasn't working for people in the UK, but it seemed to work for people outside the UK.
Oh,
It was
that's
very weird. It was very weird.
that's so weird.
There was a
Like,
massive disjoint on the day of what was happening because, for instance, when a lot of us went to purchase, there was no notification that it would take a while between ordering and receiving the item. Now, Stacey Marie herself had been very upfront about it and had apparently said it online of like, oh yeah, you can expect a delay. And it wasn't
yeah,
until like 2 or 3 days after my order that I got an email from BPerfect and I go, you'll get it in 7 to 10 days. And I was like, why are you only telling me now? Like, you should have that on site. Now they put it on their site.
Yeah.
It's going to be a delay, but I just thought it was really weird. It's like you knew this was happening. What's going on?
Yeah.
That being said, beautiful palette. I still, to my dying day, really, truly, 100% believe that if she'd just come out with that grey toned section, that
Yeah,
alone
I
would have been
feel
her.
like she should have come out well. Like, imagine if those palettes were in three, like the pinks,
Mhm.
reds, like 3 rows at the first. That was one palette. Then the greens, the blues, that was one, and the grays
Yeah.
were one. Like, if she would have done that, I would have bought, like, because I'm mostly interested in the gray one,
Right.
like in the gray section. That's the one that I feel like rest of it is what we've seen from her before with like previous carnivals. I know it's quite hard to like come up with new ideas all the time, but I feel like if she would break through from this, like it needs to be a one big palette, rainbow themed or anything like
Yeah.
colorful. I feel
It
like it would
reminds
be
me a bit of the antidote in the sense that we said the exact same thing with the antidote of there were 3 separate color sections, and if they
yeah,
sectioned it off so that they were 3 main palettes,
yeah.
it would have worked better. Now, in the end, I ended up really enjoying the antidote, but that being said, I wouldn't have bought the full thing if I could have
If
just
you could get them like yeah. So for me, for example, I would probably just get the gray one.
yeah.
If I could, like, if I had the choice, I could just buy like a in smaller sections. But the quality is great. I feel like the shimmers and the new hybrid formula with glitter and shimmer like foiled things sounds really nice, and they look beautiful on people's looks. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. I will get this at one point. Like I
Yeah.
will. I know I will because you know it's a good quality. It's Stacy. We all love Stacy.
Obviously. Yeah, look, I think it was a good one. I probably would have done it a bit differently, but that being said, I think it's well
Yeah.
executed.
I
Minor
think
critiques.
yeah, and also one last thing. I feel like she should add more. Like she doesn't have that many blues in her palettes.
There's
Like she
always
has like
purples.
some on the XL Pro, but then like on the Tahiti you had like 2 blues,
Yeah.
and then on Antidote you didn't have any blues. And then now you have like couple of blues, but kind of feel like she hasn't done like explored that section
Yeah.
fully.
She's very pink purple heavy in terms
Yeah,
of her palettes. That tends to be, and to be fair, I can't critique her on that because I would do that with green. So I hear
yeah,
you, Stacey. We're the same person.
yeah.
To be
We
fair,
love what we
often,
love, so
yeah, we're often confused, Stacey and I. Yeah, I think it was a good one. I obviously bought it, so like, you know, that's how I felt about it. When I put it to you guys, 39% of you loved it, 35% said not for me, and 27% of you said I'm on a low or a no buy.
wow, I'm actually surprised on
Mm.
this. Like I would have thought it would have been a lot bigger.
Yeah,
Maybe it is kind of like, you know, because we had so many palettes from like similar ones from Stacy and BPerfect before that people are getting kind of like, I don't need this.
yeah, and particularly if people had just gotten the All Stars, there would be
Yeah,
a certain amount of crossover there that they'd be like, oh,
yeah,
we need this. The great, like, and I will say this to my dying day, the grey part of the palette, that's what it should have been.
yeah. I
Left
feel
it
like
at
she
that.
should have just done that separately.
Yeah,
Or maybe
sometimes
like
more
a
is not better.
full cool toned. Like even if she would have done like a big palette, but do it like full cool tones, grays, scrap the like all the like warm colors in there and like
Yeah,
make it yummy. Kind of like what Jeffree Star cremated, but you know, better.
yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking when I saw that. Like literally. But then we have Benefit Cosmetics, and let's be real, Benefit are known for their highlighters. That's kind of one of the things that they do the best. And they are coming out with 2 different highlighters, and they apparently have a soft focus blurring effect. There's the Dandelion Honeybee Twinkle Warm Golden Honey shade, and that is available now on Cult Beauty. It seems to be Cult Beauty exclusive for the moment. And then there's the Dandelion Sugar Plum Twinkle. It's a cool iridescent lilac shade. We've no date as to when that's coming. I may or may not be like refreshing websites to see what the story is, because I'm like, ooh, this is interesting to me. I'm going to be fully upfront with you guys. I've already purchased the Honeybee Twinkle because I'm obviously an idiot. So I love the highlights.
Amazing. I feel like it's not like bam in your face highlight. I feel like that would be more like, you know, the kind of like the Huda Glowish powder, but maybe like more, even more like shiny, or like the Makeup Revolution the what are they called? They don't do those anymore, like the skin finishes. Like I feel like this might be that. It just sounds so amazing, and I want them bad.
Same. I've already ordered like one of them, and I'm waiting for the purple one to come out, because I think, oh mama, I like the look of that. Like, I think that is really, really nice. I like their formula. Like, not a lot.
I feel like Benefit is good with these. Like, I love my Cookie. I love their blushes, so I don't see this being a bad product.
No, same. I think, look, we're coming out with this at a good time of the year. You know, people will see this and be like, quickly, put it in as a Christmas present. There you go. I know a person who has skin. They'll like this. Like, fair. Like, it's good. I like it. When I put it to you guys, 48% of you loved it, 31% said not for me, and rather interestingly, 22% said that I wish they were cruelty free, because that's a lot of what gets Benefit in trouble. Is the fact that they aren't a cruelty free brand, and I think their sales would be so much better if they did actually adhere to that. I genuinely do. And speaking of cruelty free, this is Jefferson Starship, who does vegan makeup and yet is proposing a store in which you can buy his vegan skincare and vegan makeup, and also yak meat and random yak plushies. Do you want a toy of the thing that we have killed so that you can eat? I'm so confused by it. Anyways, this is his new collection. It's the Psychedelic Circus collection. It seems to me that the palette is almost like a different tone in terms of, like, say, the Jawbreaker. Feels like it's a sister companion to that. It's more interesting than what he's done lately.
Well, it is, but it's still ugly.
I wouldn't know what to do with it. Genuinely.
I feel like it has kind of like, it reminds me a little bit of the Sample Beauty palette that was also on 3 Rows. But like worse, but like not as good. Like, I feel like this has potential, but why is it so mumbled up, like all the colors? Like, I feel like if this was even organized a bit, like, you know, I kind of like them colors, same colors being in together. So if that was like even organized a bit more, not so psychedelically.
Do you know what it reminds me of, though? Remember when Makeup Revolution did a collaboration with Coca-Cola?
Yeah. It kind of does.
You know what it looks like?
It does.
Also, isn't it really interesting how Jefferson, 2 or 3 years ago, used to always be on about how OTT his packaging was, because he wanted to give his consumers an experience. And he's not doing that now, but his prices are still the same.
I feel like this is kind of like he's not as popular anymore. So he's like having to like cut some corners to make bigger profits to make the company still going. So he's cut down on packaging, which is kind of easy to do, and he can even be like, oh, but people wanted me to do like more compact packaging, you know. So I feel like he's doing a bit of that.
And like, it's an expensive palette. Like, it really is. Like, the palette itself is $60. Like, it's a lot. I will say, though, the stuff in the collection that I do find interesting is there's the liquid eyeshadows.
Oh yeah, those
They're
are
beautiful. They're $20 each. Now, do I like every single one of them? Not really, but I like about what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of
okay.
them.
So I like all the shimmery
And
ones.
I like the
So the
greeny, the like matte green.
yeah, but to
Video.
be honest, I have so from Sample Beauty. If we talk, like Sample Beauty has these like matte ones. They're not exactly the same, but you kind of have like a
Yeah,
mustard, a green, and then if you look at all the like, for example, for that pink one, the Mitchell like eye gloss thingies,
yeah,
that looks kind of similar to that. But I'm not gonna lie, the black one, the dark green one,
yeah. That's
they're
nice.
like the three black one and that like duochromy greenish
Yeah,
bluish one. They
that's
look
what I'm
really
looking at as well. And I will say the other thing that's caught my eye is the liquid lipsticks. They're $18 each. And part of why they've caught my eye is they're unusual shades. You don't
yeah, they're
tend
really
to see
unusual.
those.
She hasn't done that in a while.
Yeah. I think he's trying to harken back to yesterday.
I do love the packaging also on the lipsticks, like that oil slick.
Yeah, I agree.
It looks really nice, and always liked like Jeffree's liquid lipstick
Yeah.
packaging and all of those. Like I feel like he's done a really good job with them, but I just don't know. The palette is too like I get it's like psychedelic circus, so it like the idea is to like have it a bit more unusual,
Mm,
not so traditional. But I feel like when the palettes are laid like this, like I can see beautiful colors in there, but I can't see behind the
yeah,
mumbleness. I
yeah.
can't like start think of a looks because I'm like, what am I gonna do with it?
Because
Because
he spent
my
so
eyes,
long trying to reorganize it and figure out how
yeah,
to actually make it work that it's not a palette that you can kind of be like, okay, I'm just going to pick that up and do something quickly with it.
yeah,
I'd struggle with it. I agree. Like, there's a lot to this collection. Like, he has the mushroom mist and the lip balm as well. So, like, the mushroom mist is $28 and that lip balm is $18, but you can get it in a bundle for $38. There's some hand mirrors because, of course, that's always a thing that he does. They're $30 each. And look, you know, there's hoodies and all these sort of things.
oh,
Uh,
the mushroom mirror is kind of
it's
cute.
cute. Yeah, like it's not bad. It's not bad
Yeah,
at all. And you can get like the a lip bundle, like all of the lipsticks for $106. And you can get the third eye bundle, which is like the eyeshadows for $120. So you're saving essentially $20. So it's not bad. But like this is one of the least meh things he's done in a while.
yeah. I feel like he's going back to the colorful
Hmm.
Jeffree Star place. It's just I kind of wish she would have done more. Like I love the highlighters. They're really expensive one that he does. I kind of wish there was more of those. Like those are nice. But to be fair, I was doing a bit of swatching today because I got the Blend Bunny highlighter palette, and they look kind of like some of the shades look very similar to the ones I have. And even the shine and the glitter that I've been, because I haven't been able to find anything that's like as like bright glittery as the Jeffree Star, but the Blend Bunny ones do come close.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
very excited
Yeah.
about that.
I picked that up too. It's just sitting over there. So I'm like, you will be.
I'm wearing actually it today.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I was going to ask. Like, delicious.
It's
Um,
not.
yeah. So obviously, like, I don't buy anything from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. That's just my own personal choice. But like, you can really see how this man's popularity has really, really waned. When I put the palette to you guys, 12% said you love it. 56% said that you don't purchase from him. And then when it came to the liquid shadows, 18% said that you loved it. 18% said not from him, and 64% said that you just don't purchase from him. And then finally, when we came on to the liquid lipsticks, 14% said love it, 21% said not for me, and 65% said I don't purchase from Jeffree Star. Moving from one YouTube beauty personality to another, we're now on to NikkieTutorials, who came up with their brand a little over a year ago, I believe. Nimya was formed, and she came out with her skincare stuff first, and it was a bit confusing that she came out with that first, because we were like, oh, we want makeup. But this is the first palette, and that came out on November 10th at 7 p.m. CET. It's the colours of the Nimya logo. There's something about this that's kind of giving me Nabla Cosmetics vibes.
Yeah, kind of like Nabla. Was it Boys in Garden or what palette was it? Like those when Nabla also had like kind of neutral palettes with pop of color. This really reminds me of it also. What am I gonna do with that dark blue? Like, you don't have any shades to blend it out with.
It feels
like
a bit
none.
Disjointed.
Like even that like other blue, that's shimmery, so I can't use that. I feel like that dark blue is just for like buffalo. I thought we were over this. I feel like she should have just like gone like fully neutral or half and half, like add more like blues, like add a couple more blues. So could have like take out one of the like you have more like a purpley brown and then like more like just neutral dark brown. Take one of those out. We don't need both. And also like why is there like this pinky like brownie?
Yeah, it's like a dustiness.
Yeah, well, maybe it goes with the one that next to it. I don't know.
I will say though, it's €49.99. That seems very expensive for what. I'm sorry, I'm being probably very mean. And don't get me wrong, I really, really love Nikkie. I think she's such a talent. But I don't think I could justify that price for what this is, because again, no more than what we were saying about Scott Barnes, there doesn't seem to be any sort of like really, really interesting formulas here.
Like this was Nikkie a couple of years ago. Like obviously in here you also have like neutrals. But at least this is like fun. It's like you have colors to blend out colors, but you still have like those neutral things, and the shimmers are top notch. So just like I don't think this to me is like screams Nikkie. Like I know that she's gone more to a neutral route, but I know that she still does some like colorful looks. So I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe she just wanted to, like you said, to go with like the Nimya colors, but then make like an orange and blue palette. How pretty would that be?
Yeah, just go for it. I do think though that this is a smart choice in the sense that she's going to try and appeal to as broad an audience as possible.
Yeah.
And the neutral with the pop of blue, I think, is going to get a lot of people that, I don't think the bright eyeshadow palette would get. So I think she's playing it safe.
That's true.
And I think that makes sense considering the newness of her business. She can't afford to take chances at this point because she hasn't established herself yet. So I think I understand why she's being like conservative in this at this moment.
Yeah.
It's not what I want, but I get
Definitely not what I want either.
Yeah. I do want it all to go really, really well for her though. Like I want it to be gusty.
I really like Nikkie.
Yeah.
And I keep buying on, like, I wish she would just come out with, like, products that would excite me.
Yeah. Because
like, the ones, so she has, like, glosses, she has the, like, skincare, primary, and now eyeshadow. But I'm like, I want foundation, I want concealer, I want, like, setting sprays, like, all of that. Like, her face looks always flawless. So nice, like brow products. Like I feel like those kind of products is what I'm looking.
Oh, 100%, because her base is always flawless. So I'm like, that is what I would want. Like even like, does she have a really good primer? Does she have like,
or even like makeup sponges and brushes and because
you
I
go
feel
all
like she
over
would do
that.
amazing with it. Because I
Okay.
remember there was a time when everyone was like, "Oh, what sponge is they using?" Because she always had like, everyone was like, "What sponge is that? I want to use it," and like she also kept it like a secret. So I feel like she should like kind of capitalize on that. Like, oh,
Yeah,
which sponge am I using now?
I agree. I totally agree. I want it all to go well for her, but for the moment, this ain't the purchase for me. When
Yeah,
I put it to you guys, 15% of you loved it, 70% said not for me, and 15% of you agreed with us and said that Nikki is indeed a talent. P.Louise then have kind of said that they're coming out with an Unlock Your Creativity double-sided eyeshadow palette. So similar to kind of what they did with the chess, like the, what was it, the Queen something.
watch the Queen come.
Yeah, Christ, such a name of a palette. Like, okay, something to do with queens, the things and the chess. Yeah, I don't love a double-sided palette. It kind of stresses me out. Yeah, grand.
Yeah,
Her packaging is always very, very bulky, but she's coming out with this, and there's 18 shades, and they're all matte, and it's coming out November 18th. So as you're watching this, this has already been made available. It's very hard for her to come out with stuff that is really legitimately new for her, because she's kind of done this
yeah,
a couple of different iterations. We've seen this with the Worldie, which got discontinued, but then there were the mini Worldies, and like we've kind of got elements of these colors from, say, the Watch the Queen Conquer,
yeah,
from a couple of different palettes. I
yeah.
think it's smart though coming out with mattes. You know, I don't think.
Yeah, I do like that. It's like I think she's going back to her root because I feel like she started with like all matte palettes. There wasn't any shimmers. Like the what was the like feathery palette that was like all matte. What was after that?
Oh, I know. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I remember she used to have like all matte palettes. Now she has shimmers in them. I feel like it's just very like I like this palette. I think it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I would have like an amazing time with that palette. The formula, I really like P.Louise formula, so I know I would like this. But for me, it's just I feel like I have this already.
Yeah.
So I have the Watch the Queen Conquer. I have the Worldie, and now I also have the mini blue stack in my palette, which I actually used today on my eyes. I just want more of those mini stack in my
I
palette.
agree. I love those. I think they
I
are
want to.
so
I
good.
used the purple one at Mrs. I love it. I want the green one. I want the purple one. I want like. It's just such a good formula. It's such like nice and compact, and you can still do a good look with it. I kind of wish more of that. I kind
I
of hate
agree.
this. And if this would come to my door, knocking like, "Hello, can I come in?" I would be like, "Okay,
In your cam, I will say
I'm used to."
my issue with P.Louise is like I don't always find a consistency across formulas.
Yeah,
Like I really enjoy the
I've
Stack
had
Up. I've had a lot of
quite a bit of issues with those. So,
yeah.
yeah,
So I'm like,
so I wouldn't risk it, baby.
yeah. I will say though, when I looked at these palettes, they reminded me quite a bit of Certify, which is
Oh yeah,
a UK-based indie brand. Which gotta say, I haven't seen them put anything out in a really, really long time.
yeah. I wonder if they're a thing anymore.
Their site is still up. You can still buy from them, but they haven't released anything new in a really, really long time, and their Instagram is practically dead. So
Oh, that's weird.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do, you know, finish at some point. But
Yeah,
this kind of reminded me a little bit of that. I don't think it's
yeah.
bad, but I think if you have a couple of P. Louises already, you
I
probably
know that they're coming out with more. I just saw on
yeah.
um, so they have more of these.
Yeah, who knows? If I get tagged in a lot in the
Yeah.
next couple of hours,
Yeah, so I feel like they got like they're coming out with the pastel version of this too.
yeah. And if
It looks pretty, but
yeah, I'll grab some screenshots and you'll see them right now. I've
yeah,
seen them. They're fine. They're fine.
yeah,
I think they're very much going on the whole idea of like, oh, I want them all, collect them all. This will work
yeah,
well with this one, and this
yeah,
will work well
definitely.
with this one.
I wouldn't be surprised if he because I think I've heard that she's coming out with like an all shimmer palette on this Black Friday, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was a third one with all shimmers.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they also have like brushes, and I think it's gonna be a whole thing.
It's
Yeah.
exhausting. It's like genuinely, I'm tired thinking
Yeah,
of.
I feel like P.Louise is also coming one of those brands that release a lot. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, slow down a bit for
Even
me.
like with their like budget boxes, there's always something new in it, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, that's actually, I do like that idea a lot. They do have that because then you get to try a lot of the products.
Yeah.
Not that I could ever afford it, but no,
But yeah.
like the idea still.
Yeah. Look, it's not for me, but like it's because I've been burnt many times before, and unless I can physically try it,
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, it ain't for me. When I put this particular palette in front of you guys, 34% said love it, 44% said not for me, and 22% said that you wish that they were sold separately rather than like as a dual-sided thing. Now we have Unearthly Cosmetics, and I gotta say, there's just a lot of stuff coming out from Unearthly. We had 4 Halloween palettes from them not that long ago, because bearing in mind as we're filming, this is the 16th of November, and now they've kind of gone, more stuff. This is 3 separate things. There is the grind palette, the daily grind, because, you know, like it's an orange or whatever. 9 shades, $25. There is the Dead of Night palette, that's 12 shades, and that's $40. And then they have 7 satin liquid lipsticks, and they are $15 each. I mean, they look beautiful. They absolutely do. I wouldn't argue on that.
I feel like the grind palette, just because I'm not that into like reds and oranges. I do like the 2 greens in there, but I don't think that's enough convince me to buy it. I do like the more purpley, bluey, greeny palette.
Yeah.
If these shimmers are like the shimmers that she put in those Halloween palettes, then oh my god. Like I actually get now the price tag, because like some of these shimmers, they're just like, it's not even able to see on camera, but they're like multi-chromes, really like shiny. They have like, and under a flash you can see like a different tone in them. It's completely different that you can see on your eye. Like they're very special. So if those shimmers are the same as in these ones, I mean, there's something really nice.
Yeah, like I wouldn't question the quality. Like they are a very, very, very strong brand. My issue, if we can call it an issue, is that it's just too much in too short a succession.
I feel like that.
A lot of people who support indie brands, they like to buy each thing. And even when it came to the Halloween thing, trying to get 4 of them was going to cost you over $200. Like that was just, and again, I know why they are the price that they are. It's because of the quality. But I feel like it could have just been like, just maybe wait, maybe pick one of these and then come out with another one.
I do agree. I feel like they release too much stuff like too frequently. Like and with all the like unfortunate issues that she's been having with the Halloween launch, I feel like she should have like delayed this.
Yeah.
And just get that fixed and done, and then like just release more stuff. I feel like she's maybe releasing a bit too much at the moment to like have time to like make sure that everything is perfect.
Yeah, it's very hard when you're a small company as well.
And she's only with her and her husband, so it is like a very one woman, one man, like, and they work from their apartment. So I do get that. I just wish that they would slow down a bit, because they have such a good products. And I feel like Unearthly is really popular at the moment. So I feel like a lot of people are like struggling to kind of like, what can I get and what can I not get, because they want everything.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them.
Because that's where I am, and that's why I haven't gotten anything, because I'm like, but I want it all.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, no, you actually just can't, because if you open that floodgate, that's it. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I am wondering though why she's coming out with so many things so quickly. It's kind of reminding me a little bit of when Anastasia Beverly Hills, remember, kept coming out with collabs 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And she used to have it so that it was like kind of seasonal-ish. And then we had like this floodgate of like one after another. It was like Carly Bible, then it was like
Yeah.
other influencers. And there was like a rumor at the time that it was her trying to like not inflate sales, but kind of be like, look at how much I can sell, buy stocks. So I'm wondering if this is like a business move to show the potential of the business to get investors or to get additional finances. I don't know.
Yeah. Or it could be because there's a lot of like mainstream brands, ColourPop, ABH, all of these big brands coming out so much stuff all the time. So I feel like some indie brands might think that I have to keep up with this. So in order they try to release as much as these big brands do. So I feel like everyone should just calm down a bit.
I agree.
We don't need 10 million launches in 1 year.
No, I mentally can't keep up with it. I'm not able. When I put this to you guys, when we looked at the daily grind palette, 26% of you said love it, 59% said not for me, and 15% of you said I wish I could get this more easily. When I put the 12 pan palette, the dead of night palette, 59% of you said love it, 31% said not for me, and 10% said wish that there were darker mattes. When I put the 7 satin liquid lipsticks in front of you guys, 44% said love it, and 56% said not for me. And then, look, we weren't going to get through an episode of releases and rants, particularly when we're going over 3 weeks worth of stuff, and there was no fucking way that we weren't going to talk about ColourPop. So here you go. This is ColourPop in a collaboration with the Muppets. Now, I love the Muppets. It is not Christmas until I have watched the Muppets Christmas Carol. I fucking love it. I don't think this is the worst thing that they've done. I'm going to say it's not amazing, but it's not the worst thing that they've done. They have a 16 pan eyeshadow palette for $26. There's 4 different glowing lip products. They're $9 each. There's some Super Shock shadows, because of course there are. They're $9 each. And there's a glitterally obsessed gel, which is obviously for Miss Piggy, and that is $10, and you can get the full collection for $104. Not awful. I'm not going to buy it,
but it's also not great.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I like the glittery obsessed one.
That's what
I like some aspects of the palette.
Same.
I feel like it's not like same thing with the Nimya palette. Like we have this dark blue. What are we supposed to blend it out with? Like those greens. I do love a blue to green blend. But I know a lot of other people aren't as adventurous. Like I feel like sometimes I struggle to like blend different tones. For example, like blue to green, or like purple to blue, or like those, even though they're like in a very close proximity. But I feel like you should have like some blue matte shades to blend that up. I feel like it would make the palette more easily, like you could more easily do a look with it. Not that you can now, but like I feel like it's not something that everyone would even think of or like wanted to try.
Yeah, I agree. It's not the worst thing we've seen from them, but it's also just not 100% thought out either.
Yeah. I thought the red and pink one were like blushes, and then the gold one was highlighted, but those are like Super Shock shades.
Yeah.
They look so like bland.
Yeah.
I'd like to see swatches, but
yeah, if I've managed to find some, because I didn't prior to filming, but if I found some, you'll see them on your screen now. Like, they're not really calling to me, and I love the Muppets. I love Animal particularly.
Yeah.
Like, Animal is my bae. I love him. The glittery
Miss Piggy, that's the most interesting thing in this collection.
Yeah. And it's so Miss Piggy. Like, it's so Miss Piggy of like a pink picture. Like, I can see it. In all, am I going to get any of it? No, I'm not. But it doesn't make me filled with rage in the way that the HipDot collabs have.
Oh,
so
this is like, you can't even talk about this and the HipDot thing in the same sentence.
Yeah.
Like, ColourPop still has some sense.
It still has some dignity.
Yeah.
And I'm tough on ColourPop. So,
yeah.
I'm just saying. When I put this to you guys, 17% said love it, 62% said not for me, and 20% of you said I could be convinced. This is the last thing that we're talking about, and I'm going to fucking say I love this. I think this is beautiful. This is Clarity Cosmetics, and I'm going to be fully transparent with you guys. I am an affiliate with Clarity Cosmetics, but that isn't affecting what I'm thinking, because if you do use a code, you can't use my code for palette. It don't work.
Oh,
I wouldn't make any
Miss
money on that.
Teresa's card.
Yeah.
Miss Teresa's card. Oh, yeah.
I make nothing on this, but I think this is gorgeous. Anyone who knows me, you're looking at this and kind of going, of course she fucking likes it. There's a bit of grunge, it's in green, delicious. It looks gorgeous. This is coming out on Black
It
Friday.
looks nice.
Yeah.
I would like to see swatches on someone paler. So I really can't complain though, because usually we get, but I just, for me to like make my full opinion about this, because my skin tone is very, very, very different to her skin tone. So on me, this might be like a really, really dark palette, or it might be a really nice palette. I don't know. But I do like the greens.
I want it.
I like that like really dark brown. Like I feel like it has really nice tones in it. Like it looks like a grungy neutral green palette.
I love it. Love it. It's
I'm sure we will see more of it soon.
It's the croc palette. I like this a lot. Like that's all I can say.
Yeah, that's really pretty.
And
you know we love like grungy greens, so.
And I will also say I truly enjoy Clarity's formula. I don't think there's anything that I've gotten from them that I've kind of gone.
I haven't tried yet anything, but I will want. I'm not sure actually that I try some at yours.
Next time you're over.
Yeah, next time at least. All the Clarity palettes shall be mine.
But like, why is your suitcase suspiciously heavier than when you arrived? Now,
I don't know. I'm leaving now.
Goodbye, farewell. Yeah, like I love this brand, and I will say the owner is really nice. Like I speak with her every so often, so I think
I think I was like browsing on their site, and they have like really nice, like really pale nude lipsticks there, or like liquid lipsticks. I can't remember, but I was like, oh, these look nice. So I might need to do an order.
I have a lot of things with them, so like I said, just you will get 5% off of lipsticks with my code. So.
Oh.
And I have an affiliate link down below. So affiliate links for everything. Affiliate links for us all. Yay! So yeah, if you're interested, go check that out. But I fucking love it. I think this is beautiful. And when I put this to you guys, 67% of you said love it. I agree. 15% said not for me, and 19% said I like some of it. Fuck me.
We shall see.
I really like it. That does mean that we're at the end of the episode, but because we were gone for so long, I couldn't possibly choose just one comment that was my favourite, so it had to be 2 different comments. So the first one was obviously from Missa, who said, Teresa, I'm sorry, but I shall tell thee your beauty outshines the sun and you are the moon to my stars. This is because Missa has been consistently ignoring me, and it's really fucking hurting my feelings. Like, to quote the great philosopher Elena, what am I, chopped liver? Like, it was very hurtful. And then Ilya said, Calavera, I love your cat sweater. There's your compliment and shitty nickname, because Missa called Tia Tibia. So that, I know, I found it funny, and this is my channel, so you're just gonna have to fucking deal with it really at this stage. But that is it, my friends. It was great to be back. I really fucking missed doing this, so very sorry for our hiatus, but we will endeavour not to do that very often again. But that's it. You know the drill. I have all of Tia's information down below so that you can find her, all of the links of all the products that we discussed, and that is it, my friends. Do please like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell so you can see more releases and rants, and so you can see some other videos. And most importantly, do please share, because sharing is caring. Except, of course, for STDs, in which case, just wrap that up. Don't be gross. We don't want another pandemic on our hands. But that is it for this week, and we will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.